Are you selfish just because you make yourself a priority? Welcome or welcome back. It's your favorite mental health specialist, Ty Guidance. And yes, that is what we're going to be talking about in today's video. With that being said, because there's no right or wrong way to heal yourself, always and only here. Take what resonates as well as leave the rest, as well as grab your pen and your paper and be prepared to take notes. So if it doesn't apply, let it fly, okay? In this video, we're going to talk about why it's so important to make yourself a priority, as well as some recommendations, some reminders, and some disclaimers and awareness to be aware of and mindful of when you do decide to make yourself a priority. Starting off with the awareness, starting off with the disclaimers. To answer the question, no, it's not selfish of you to prioritize yourself. Why? Because if you don't love yourself, who will? When somebody is selfish, you are only excessively and primarily concerned with yourself, meaning you disregard the needs of other people, you disregard the feelings of others. A lot of times when people are selfish, they lack consideration. They struggle to understand people. They struggle with empathy. A lot of times when people are selfish, they have to manipulate behaviors to get the things that they want. And a lot of times they end up having remorse because what they do doesn't affect other people because they're not considerate. So I don't think it's selfish of you to make yourself a priority, because just because you choose yourself first, it doesn't mean that you don't care about other people. But how can you care about other people if you don't care about yourself? How can you care about other people? How can you show up for people if you don't show up for yourself? That's the problem. You have a lot of people who put other people before them, and people want you to put them before you put yourself, and they take advantage of you. They manipulate you. They gaslight you. They abuse you emotionally, physically, financially, drain you, and then sabotage you and talk negatively about you and make fun of you. And that's what we don't want. You shouldn't be around people who don't want you to be the best version of yourself. Now, if these people are not willing to make themselves a priority, if they're not willing to put themselves first, you don't need to be around them. That's the first thing you need to be aware of. If you're in relationships with people and they want you to be there for them, you need to be there for yourself, and they have to be okay with you making time for yourself. Whether it's your job, it's your friends, it's your family, etc., because vice versa. How do you want somebody to support you when you don't support yourself? Or how do you expect other people to pour into you, but you get mad because they take the time to pour into themselves? Like myself. You all cannot say that you appreciate me and want me to help and educate and inform and motivate you if you don't understand that I have to make time for myself to come up with these videos and pour out this content. Like, people who genuinely care about you and love you are not mad at you for taking time for yourself. They don't get mad at you when you tell them no. They don't feel the need to bring you down because you're not doing what they want you to. The third thing that you need to be aware of when you choose yourself is that if people do have a problem, they're not for you. No one should ever have a problem with you choosing yourself or thinking highly of yourself or showing up for yourself, because once again, if they're not going to finance you, if they don't feed you, if they don't pour into you, why are they in your life? When you prioritize yourself, it's a privilege to be in certain people's life. Nobody is obligated to do certain things for you, especially when you can do those things for yourself. That's why I promote independency and confidence genuinely from the inside and out. Because it's like, when you make yourself a priority, when you think highly of yourself, how other people choose to think about you or perceive you is literally just an opinion. And just because people have opinions doesn't mean that you have to agree with them or that they're true. And that's the fourth thing or the third thing. Let me know what number I'm on, because I lost count. Just because people perceive you doesn't mean it's true. Just because people made up in their mind about how they want to feel about you doesn't mean that's who you are. If what people say and what people do doesn't pour into you, if it doesn't finance you, doesn't make you feel good about yourself, who cares? You cannot worry or be responsible for how other people are, because people are going to do and say things that you don't agree with. People are going to do and say things that don't resonate with you. You know what I do? You know what I recommend? Anytime somebody says something or does something that you don't like, and you know you don't have to react or respond, block, unfollow, delete. Unless you're around certain people to a certain extent, tolerate them by being professional. Like, if you have to work with them, if you have to speak with them, speak with them. Don't allow them to get you out of character. But if not, once you realize that you're in these environments and you have to tolerate certain people and they're not willing to respect themselves or respect you by putting yourself first, it's time for you to go. You putting yourself first is not a crime. I've never had a problem with people who genuinely put themselves first have a problem with me thinking the way that I think or feeling the way that I feel. Now, of course, you guys know I don't promote violence, corruption, or chaos. So as long as you're not hurting yourself, as long as you're not hurting other people, as long as you're not going out your way to be, spiteful or seek revenge or do anything that's low vibrational or out of animosity, let people say what they want to say. Like I said, unless you're like in danger physically. Making yourself a priority is not a crime. People don't love themselves, and that's why people are hating and people have negative energy. You have to realize that sometimes what other people do has nothing to do with you. It's literally because that's how they feel. They're dealing with their own internal issues. And until people learn how to sit with themselves, until people learn how to be honest, until people learn how to be vulnerable, until people try to face their shadows that they try to hide or the skeletons in their closet, they're going to walk around being miserable and being angry and taking that energy out onto people, places, things who did nothing to them. So now the recommendations, because I literally just summed up all the 5 disclaimers and 5 things to be aware of. When it comes to choosing yourself and making yourself a priority, stand on it. You cannot be fickle about when you want to be confident. When you're genuinely confident, it's inside and out. People should know that you're confident. People should be able to feel your energy. The same way people can feel insecurity is the same way people feel confidence. Don't allow anybody to gaslight you or manipulate you for feeling how you want to feel. Stand on it. If you're confident about something, if you know something, if you happen to be an expert, if you like certain things, you are entitled to those things. Why? Because it's your life. If they don't want to get with the program, if they don't want to learn you, if they don't want to be patient, if they don't want to agree to disagree, it is what it is. Stand on what you believe in, stand on this with what you love, and be about it. Don't back down for anybody. Number 2, when you put yourself first, you have to make time for yourself. So you have to be able to make time for yourself. I just said that, meaning you need to learn how to understand when something's for you and when something's not for you. So when you watch certain things, be intentional. When you make time for yourself, not only should you be intentional, but you should realize that when you watch certain things, when you hang around certain people, when you listen to certain things, it's pouring into you. If certain people, places, and things are not pouring into you, you need to spend some time with yourself so you can figure out what you need to be poured into you or what you can do to pour into yourself. So you need to have days where you have self-care days. You need to have mental health days. You need to make time to have relaxation days. Some days you're going to go to work. Some days you're going to go to school. Some days you need time for yourself. Rather that's going to the spa, going shopping, going hiking, hanging out with friends, hanging out with family, praying, going to Bible study, whatever it is, you need to have time where it's just you. Don't allow anybody to disturb your time. It could be for 20 hours. It could be for 30 days. It could be for 30 minutes. It could be for 10 minutes. Based off of your schedule, whenever you have the time. So the next time you have your calendar out, the same way you book your doctor's and dentist appointment is the same time you need to make some time for yourself. There's nothing wrong with taking time to yourself. Because if you don't know who you are, if you don't know what you want, there are going to be some people in this world who think they can manipulate you, gaslight you. We don't have time for that. It's nothing wrong with putting yourself first. So I challenge you guys, when you see this video, to let me know in the comment section and on your notes paper to figure out some things that you can do when you have your self-care days or your mental health days or days that you have to yourself. So it could be not answering the phone for 3 hours, going for a walk, getting your hair done, getting your nail done, treating yourself, watching your favorite movies, eating your favorite foods. Like I said, as long as it's not lowering your vibration, as long as it's not hurting you or harming others, do what you do, because at the end of the day, you're responsible for yourself. The third thing or the fourth thing that you also need to be reminded of when you put yourself first is that when you put yourself first, other people who put themselves first too, you're going to be able to have healthier relationships with them. You're able to see eye to eye. You're going to meet people who love you and appreciate you. And everyone else who has a problem with not putting themselves first, they're just not for you. You don't have to go back and forth with people when it comes to what it is that you want. Like, everyone is not compatible. Everyone doesn't have to be compatible at the end of the day. And that's okay. Like, once you realize that some people are not compatible, it's easy. It's so easy once you know who you are. When you know who you are and you know what you want, it's so easy to know who's for you and who's not. And just because people try to force themselves into your life doesn't mean that you have to receive them. What other people do is not a reflection of who you are. Just because somebody tries to force themselves into your life doesn't mean that you have to be friends with them or that you have to let them in. You get to have boundaries. Once again, nobody who puts themselves first is going to be mad at you because you have certain boundaries. Like, let's be for real. So the fourth thing, or the last thing when it comes to putting yourself first, is being okay with it. So what? If you like to dress a certain type of way, you like to look a certain type of way, like I said, and you're not causing harm to other people, and you want to believe in what you believe in it. You never have to worry about, honestly, conflict or confrontation or negativity when you put yourself first. The only time you're going to deal with conflict or negativity is when you're surrounded by people who are not for you. And I'm speaking from experience. I've never had to deal with confrontation or negativity with people when they put themselves first. All the confident men and women, whether they were black, white, Asian, Hispanic, gay, hey, them, she, we, of G, I didn't have to deal with that. I only deal with people who have a problem with putting themselves first because they don't want to respect themselves. Like, I've only had a problem with people when I chose to put myself first, when people did not put themselves first. And it's like, you don't have to force connections with people. You don't have to force compatibility with people. They're either going to take the time to get to know you, agree to disagree, or they don't. But it's like, you're not selfish because you're putting yourself first. Like I said, selfish is when you put yourself first and you don't care about how that affects other people. But if you care about other people, which you should care about the people who love you and pour into you, you got to take care of yourself. Why should you be in a relationship with somebody and you don't take care of yourself? You have to realize that. And that goes with men, it goes with women. So it could be your partner, it could be your coworkers, it could be your friends, your family. Like, ask yourself those questions and ask them those questions. If you are really in a relationship with somebody, if you really want to know if you're meant to be with somebody, ask them, would you have a problem with me putting myself first? Would you really feel mad? If somebody, let's just say, was like in a relationship with you and they don't put themselves first and they said, you know what, I can't be in a relationship right now because I'm not willing to put myself first, or I have to put myself first, why would you be mad? If a man told me that he had to put himself first and that he can't be in a relationship with me, I wouldn't be upset. I would thank him, because why would you want somebody to drag you down or, go through certain things if, of course, you're not emotionally intelligent to go through those things? But it's like, it's not a crime. Like, people need to start thinking highly of themselves. So you don't have to be envious. So you don't have to project and deflect your internal issues. Because that's what happens. People hurt people because they don't take the time to figure out who they are, or they don't take the time to be with themselves. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you have questions, comments, concerns, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Thank you for liking it. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. Thank you for turning on your post notification and subscribing. Thank you for commenting down below. Thank you for liking, commenting, and engaging, as well as following me on my Instagram and my TikTok. All the information will be down in the description box below. If you guys have questions, DM me on Instagram. If not, book your service and session. All the information is down in the description box below. But it's like, it's not selfish for putting yourself first. Once again, why should you want to be in a relationship? And I'm going to keep saying that over and over and over again until it clicks. Why should we be in relationships with people if we don't put ourselves first? And do you think someone's going to want to be in a relationship with you if you don't put yourself first? Pay attention and let me know, and come back and let me know your experience. You ever not put yourself first and you've seen how people try to take advantage of you and manipulate you? And especially if you're somebody who feels like people don't appreciate you, well, maybe if you put yourself first, maybe if you put boundaries, people couldn't manipulate you and take advantage of you. Because if you say no, no is no. And if they get mad, why are they mad? Okay? Love you. Bye.